Captain's log star date 1118201914.1. Starship USS Excelsior's log NCC 77246. So this new ship is good. I've been sitting down and actually trying to get my letters finished up so I can sign my name and print them out and send them off in the mail. I was supposed to go off today and take care of the video game sale business with one of the games. This guy was going to come up from the Seattleite sector. Unfortunately, we had a little problem, like I said last night. I was just briefing Lieutenant Dinky on the problem. Amazon took out $70, hasn't put it back. They say give it 1 to 2 business days. So by tomorrow, we should have it taken care of. And either Saturday or next Monday, I will be picking up the supplies I need. Now, mind you, with all the food piled up in the cupboard between mushroom soups, pot roast soups, beans, and chili, I should get by no problem, give or take a bit. Chloe stockpiled her ramen, so it's not a problem there. Now, there's a couple things I wanted to share with you. I'm still working on my game review list. I'm working on letters today. I should be doing spreadsheets, but I'm waiting for the computer core to be returned so I can finish up my work. I'm going to upload everything up to Google Drive and then download it yet again. I've also put in an email to GOG to find out if I got to rebuy the games I just bought so I can put it on my system yet again. So, that it would be Lieutenant Commander Corey. So, you know, so, so, So a couple things I wanted to share with you also was Lieutenant Dinky and I were just conversing about a little situation that I wanted to bring up to you all is, a couple things in the life of Chloe. Now, the other day, as I told you yesterday, I posted a question on a BPD group for Chloe. And I clearly stated to the BPD group that, I needed to know what to do about Chloe. Now, Chloe's got a severe temper, okay? Severe temper. When I look at Chloe as worse than Susanna Kaysen. Now, I'm not being negative towards Chloe in any way, shape, or form. But I do want to get this out here to you all. Now, one of the things I've been thinking about doing is on my own, and I want to break it down to you. If Chloe's mom's watching this, so be it. Is I'm thinking of sending Chloe on a one-way ticket to the Seattleite sector and having her board and station herself in the USS Phoenix on the Arizonia sector because I'm tired of. And I'm sharing this with you all. I'm not being negative. I'm not saying, oh yeah, that motherfucker, blah 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 blah. No, I'm being rational here, okay? For a couple reasons. One is we could be hanging around, and two is we could be doing things, and then all of a sudden, we could be getting evicted for her temper. Literally, screaming and yelling, pounding crap, etc., etc. To me, I'm afraid of the repercussions. And so Chloe and I have been talking about sending her off to Phoenix in a constructive manner and not like throwing allegations or name calling out there. The other problem is I know the family's going to basically think, that Chloe's throwing him away because of I'm being used. It's not the case. Problem is I want to ship her off because there's several reasons. One is I can't, quote unquote, financially take care of her. And two is we don't know what's going on with Social Security.
I can agree. You can't financially support me. I see that you're hurting, and I just don't want.
Here's the other problem. Okay, here's the other problem. Now, I wouldn't mind Chloe being here, but Chloe is so fucking depressed. It's causing me to basically be very angry at the fact that we got someone who's lazy. And I'm not trying to say she's a bad person. I'm just saying, look at the.
Go ahead.
This is my video. And so I'm not trying to be negative or any way, shape, or form. But for example, if you look over at the sink there in the video, it's just piling up, and, we got the floor to wash. We got to get this entire place clean. We can have an inspection tomorrow morning and we have 2 days to clean. And the problem is, with me paying, and I've said this many times, the electricity, the water, sewer, garbage, the internet, the food, when Chloe runs out, I'm always taking care of it, and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, literally, let me put it to you this way on a few things. Okay, now I told this story to Dinky a while ago, and Chloe said to me that it's completely understandable. She understands. So let me tell you how Chloe understands my predicament before you think I'm a complete and utter greedy arsehole. So the other day I went out and I bought a cooler, all right? And we got to clean it. We just got to drain out the water, wipe it down, and be ready to go again. Well, Chloe, of course, turned around and broke down the ice and stacked it up. Well, it wasn't meant to carry that much food. What she did was she bought a lot of TV dinners, and so it cut my food supply down, which means right now, because I've been buying a few things here and there to get by, she didn't think about, oh, well, we have a shopping cart and then we have a cooler. And she was only thinking about her groceries. So she was buying all her crap. And then I'm toting it all the way home, with maybe.
Just thinking about my stuff.
Well, I'm not saying you were. So just let me finish. She interrupts all the time. And I get irritated by that. This is my video, my therapy, so, and I don't do these videos all the time, but just let me hear me out, everyone. So to her, she wasn't thinking about herself. Well, there's two people in a household, so a lot of people are stacking up through the BPD group and other people like her father, basically labeling her narcissistic because she's only thinking of herself. Now, I'm not basically being little and being negative and saying, oh yeah, Chloe's an asshole. I'm basically saying, so my grocery supply was really low. So the problem isn't about Chloe. So I'm basically sitting here, trying to survive on what's available at the food bank, with beans and chilies and pasta sauce and mushroom soup and etc. And once in a while we get a can, like a couple cans once in a while of clam chowder. Now I like clam chowder, but I'm not gonna, everyone knows I'm not gonna be fighting for certain things. If Chloe likes it, she can have it. There's certain items that I won't part with. And one of the things that happened was, and let me tell you this, was I went out and I bought buffalo wing sauce, some Salisbury steaks. I got the family size ones. I didn't carry enough because Chloe loaded up, like I said, the cooler with her little banquets, which isn't a problem. I'm not griping or complaining. And then, the other problem we had was the buffalo wings. Now, Chloe wanted wings for herself. Now, when Chloe takes her food stamps and buys the wings for herself, I'll prepare them because she knows she likes how I prepare everything because, Aaron taught me to be a great cook. So when I was picking the wings up and I sat there and I put it all together, what she wanted, it was on the list. Oh, I want wings. I want this. When I was going through the shopping thing, and this is, I call it the mental Uncle Donnie syndrome. It's a joke we have in our family, and I'll explain why in a second. But it brings me back to old memories of Uncle Donnie. So what happened is Chloe went through one checkout. I went through another, and I realized when I got done buying, the underwear and the socks and the wings and the tenders were mine, so I'm not complaining about them. But the wings and the other things, lo and behold, the bill was a lot more than I anticipated. So when Chloe's like, oh, we're having wings, which I had wings the other night. Honestly, people could say I'm an asshole, but I didn't share any wings. Chloe understood because I got to eat. And Chloe also understands that it is not right to eat my food when she forgot to go take her bag of wings and put it in her side for her food stamp side. So she understands. So next month, she's hoping when she has wings that she will have wings for herself, and I'll prepare them. So, people sit there, point fingers and say I'm an asshole. I'm not literally an asshole. I'm just a person who, is looking out for myself. I got to eat. And so to me, I can't sit there, I mean, let me put it to you another way. The beginning of the month, one of the things that happened was Chloe got angry because, I went out to go grocery shopping, and here's two stories for you. I had what they call a minor heart attack because I had lack of food, and Chloe went out and she cashed a check that her grandmother gave her and came back with like munchies. And I'm sitting there starving. And, again, it's not, oh, Chloe's narcissistic. It's Chloe's abnormal. Her mind doesn't think and process properly. So to me, she's like a 50% Rain Man, but we're not going to go into the idiot savant thing. So what happened was she doesn't go and open up bags at the grocery store, eats chips, and then be like, all right, you got to pay for those, or the little apple juices. So basically what happened was I was starving. So technically when I got to the hospital, they checked me out and told me, low blood sugar, this, and this caused this, and this between, a minor heart attack, panic, whatever, all this stuff stacked up. So in the end, the whole story thing about the Uncle Donnie would go and buy everything that he wanted for meals for the month. He always wanted to use our crock pot. We got him one of those. But for like 6 months, we'd go grocery shopping with him. He'd drive us, me and Aaron. And he'd go right at checkout to go have a smoke. Next thing you know, we both ended up buying his groceries. Well, we finally got that under control when Uncle Jack turned around and said, look, I'm going with you, and you're not going to basically put it all on him. Well, Uncle Donnie's attitude at the time was he liked his booze. So, but the point I'm making is when it comes to Chloe, we're talking, reasoning, and I can't support Chloe. Two is I can't just keep funneling money into Chloe. Because, to me, here's how I see it. Now, people are going to sit there and say I'm an asshole. Well, Chloe's, here's what the BPD group says. Here's what Chloe's family says. Here's what my family says. You're going to be contributing, and I've had adopted sisters say the same thing. If you're going to contribute to a household, if you're not paying rent, you're not paying electricity, you're not paying water, sewer, garbage, or internet, then at least you can keep this place spotless instead of leaving piles here, piles there, garbage everywhere. And, then you have people like my father-in-law, for example, going, oh, well, it's borderline or bipolar. They're severely depressed. Depressed or not, the thing is to me, I feel, it's time to release her, to let her go on her own way because, she's not doing any good here. Literally. And, I mean, trash and dishes, that's one thing, but entire household, I mean, that's one reason why I decided, it's time to send her off. And so I'm looking at a one-way ticket in the next month or two to Phoenix or Las Vegas. And Dinky, in the link, she says, the message Dinky said was, she'll believe it when she sees it. The problem is it's not believing when it sees it. It's a matter of, I can't take any more of this. I'm walking on eggshells when it comes to her temper, for one. And two is the mental clinics, they go in, right? This is how the mental clinic works. They go in and they're like, hi, Chloe. Oh, I'm sorry, Rita. We need to talk to her privately. All of a sudden, Chloe goes in there, right? And I can't go in there and say, listen, asshole, fuckhead, fuck shit. You're going to listen to me. You're going to get her under control or she's out. Instead, we've tried that. They just said, oh, well, you can't do that. She's severely mentally ill. So look, when the fucking hospital put her on meds, the fucking meds were fucking making her violent. One time I had to disarm her with a knife because she wanted to go stick it into our neighbor. And then another time, the same thing when she wanted to go after a neighbor who's African Scottish, a colored woman. So to me, these outbursts, it's got to stop. I mean, I get only combative when she sits there and she throws shit at me like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, fuck blah, blah, blah. And otherwise, I don't freaking combat. But I basically said enough's enough. I've been through 2 meetings where I've had to save my housing because of Chloe, whether it be making threats, which, mentally ill or not, these threats have to stop. I'm walking on eggshells with the management company. Oh, and when Chloe basically sits there and gets mad and she hits the chair really hard, that chair could lift up and hit the TV, and then we're out of the TV, for example. And then it'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. Thing is, I can't afford to lose, this. So Chloe realizes that she's out of hand and nothing can be done. Now, here's the other problem that I want to address in this video. When it comes to Chloe claims, and I'm not there, so I'm gonna believe her. But here's how I see it for hearsay. Okay, in the world of the courts, she turns around, and Chloe turns around, and says, "Well, Grant Integrated Services, what's Social Security gonna do for you? What's mental therapy gonna do for you? What's medication gonna do for you?" The problem is they're being bigots. They're basically being complete ass clowns. Literally, they're being ass clowns. So they're turning around and they're being ass clowns, right? And so they're basically sitting there eating Twinkies, eating chips, drinking Pepsi, doing whatever, and being ass clowns. And because of it, she was belittled. What's a sex change going to do for you? Well, okay. They go and they say she's bipolar too. Again, wrong diagnosis. Then she decides, fuck you, goes to a psychiatrist and psychologist who claims borderline. Okay, that makes more sense. Yet, they also know that Chloe's temper was the type that when Chloe sat there and got angry and wanted to be hospitalized, they're like, look, we could take you in an outpatient setting, not inpatient. Said she fucking started pushing back. So then they said, okay, well, you won't listen to us, you're going to Grant. She fucking pushed back with Grant, said, fuck you. Ended up with Columbia Valley Behavioral. Again, they turned around and said, oh, well, we can't help you with BVD or this. Go back to fucking Grant. She turned around and pushed back, say, fuck you. In the end, she's been to every mental place in Grant, Chelan, and Douglas County. Catholic Charities said, yes, she's borderline. Fortunately, with Social Security and everything else, she wasn't releasing her medical records. She's like, fuck you, I'm not doing this, I'm not giving that. Why? I'll explain why. 2 reasons. There's several things in her record she didn't want anyone to see. For one, talked about threats against government people, threats against former friends of ours on YouTube, Facebook, etc. Thing is the records and all her records said she wanted to get on Social Security disability monies, was going to emergency rooms, etc., which the Social Security, people said, oh, that sounds like a scam. Unfortunately, it wasn't a scam. She's mentally ill. Unfortunately, it took over 14 months for Chloe to realize that she's gotten bad and either she gets a job or she gets on disability. Now, here's the problem with getting a job. With that temper of hers, she'd be fired within fucking 2 days. Plain and simple. She has to be on disability. So she submitted her records. Fortunately, the problem isn't about the mental health system, okay? The problem is 2 things. One is the mental health system doesn't want to listen to me, and they just want to keep pushing, okay? I was talking to a bunch of people on the borderline personality disorder group. Now, here's the story, okay? Every place I went to, they told me I had to have fucking compassion for the bipolar person who's mentally unstable and that I need to support their ass. Okay, I'm saying this outright. Fortunately, I can't fucking support someone on my income. Literally, it's basically tearing me apart. Literally. I mean, I'm living on food bank for certain things. I mean, and there's other issues. I mean, people sit there and say, oh, well, you get, I mean, the problem is I'm living on a fixed income. I mean, right now I'm worried about getting my money back so I can go get a turkey. I mean, literally. And so I've been putting emails out there to my connections and saying, hey, is there any resources for turkey? I know here, and here is, do I contact them? What do I do, So you know. So I thought I would you know, look into it, you know. And then on top of that, you know, here's the other thing: just getting Chloe glasses, they're going to charge me at least $100 additional just because they have these special tests that aren't covered. So who's got to pay? I got to pay. So, you know, when you come to the entire big picture of what the hell's going on, it basically hurts me financially. And so, you know, I've been like, you know, stressing and struggling, you know, and I got ferry tickets I got to be frugal with. I got other things I got to be frugal with. And so in the end, the problem is what am I doing wrong, you know? And so to me, um, you know, Chloe knows it's not easy. I mean, she needs an income, yes, but you know, the problem is this website's fucking broken. Okay, there it goes. So basically, the entire thing is screwed up. You know, I mean, literally, it's screwed up. So the mental clinics, they keep telling me, "Oh, well, you need to support her. You know, you need to do this. You need to be open-minded. You need to be loving and caring." How am I open-minded, loving, and caring when you got a jackass turning around? And I'm not talking about Chloe being the jackass, but the mental clinics turning around and saying, "Oh, well, you know, you need to support her." Really, I mean, literally, there's programs out there that me and Chloe are on, waiting to get her on disability. That's basically stretching thin. I mean, literally, I've had to have resources and advocates who really don't want to deal with Chloe and her damn temper when Chloe turns around and says something like, "Fuck the neighbor that fucking raped me. Fuck this guy. Fuck the sheriff. I don't feel safe on this island. I want to leave." Fine. There's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out attitude. Because frankly, the problem is I'm doing everything I can to hold everything together. And, you know, people say, "Oh, well, when she leaves, she's just throwing it away because you're being used." Well, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm being used. Problem is I'm not worried about that in general. What I'm worried about in general is you know the whole food thing, you know, and everything else. I mean, literally, I'm basically, you know, it's hard. I mean, like the whole Uncle Donnie syndrome again with the food thing, you know, and everything else. I mean, literally, it hurts me to no end that, you know, to me, you know, and this is my own opinion. Okay, if people want to claim I'm a slaver, then that's one thing. But I'm not a slaver. I feel, you know, that in a relationship, you know, one person's fucking paying everything. I'm old fashioned. The other person doesn't have any. You can do your chores, you know, and this isn't about chores. It's also about finances. And Chloe knows this because, frankly, Chloe's right there and she agrees. It's hurting me financially, you know, to go ahead, you know, and then Chloe finds out. For example, let's just give you an example. The other day, Chloe went to the pharmacy, okay? And Chloe looked at me and I went in there and I said, "Yeah, I need to get my needles refilled for my estrogen." Chloe turned, looked at me. She has no money. And she says, "Rita, they want $4 from me. It should be covered." So I was like, "Fine, just put it on my account." So I basically used my debit card and paid $8 for needles. Fortunately, you know, this is the stuff that really bothers Chloe to the point where she gets down to the bottom of the barrel where she doesn't want to do anything because she has no income. I mean, literally. And, you know, the other thing that Chloe hates is Chloe turns around, for example, and she gets angry. She'll sit there and here's how I do things, okay? Because I'm one of these people that I have like the doormat syndrome, like Aaron. People walk over me, right? Well, Chloe gets angry. She's like, "Well, I'm not going to be a man." Well, I didn't expect you to be a man. I basically said, "Look, we're financially hurting. We got to basically stretch out things like shaving cream." For example, fortunately, when I shave my legs, I shave mine like once a week. You know, when I'm in the tub, it's like once a week. You know, I'm like an old farmer, and I'll hop in the tub when I'm really ripe. Problem is, I'd like to get in more bath times, but usually, you know, Chloe usually is like, I'm going to get one in early in the morning. So then my day is basically like fine, you know. But then by the time I get up, throw my clothes on, I don't want a bath. So, You know, I need to have a bath within the first 2 hours of waking up. So sometimes Chloe's like, well, I'm not taking a bath today, but I'll take one tonight since we're leaving tomorrow. That's fine. Thing is, you know, to me, you know, people sit there and they see me as a person that's catering to Chloe, you know. But the thing is like I said, a relationship is give and take, you know. And if you're going to go and, you know, pay. Do you have something to say?
All I'm saying is I do care for you, and I'm just, I'm trying my best. But if I was thinking that leaving, shipping me out is probably gonna be beneficial, because you can't support two people off one person's income. We both can't live like this.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Two is, you know, Chloe knows that I get very angry.
If I can't go to disability, at least I could go somewhere where I could find a job and find the right kind of therapy to hold my job together.
Well, like I just said, the problem is Chloe's completely right. I'm stretching my finances very thin. I mean, thin as thin can be. I mean, ice thin. I mean, a thin layer of ice. And I'm stretching it so thin. I got to use layaways. I got to do everything I can to get things that I need to survive on, and, a lot of these problems and I'm going to basically state this for the blame, okay? The blame isn't just Chloe, it's me, okay? I'm going to take about 50% of the blame. I should have stood up a lot better and said, look, if you're going to go through therapy, you better get off your ass and do it, and you better let the therapist know that I'm going in with you to let you know that they better get you under control, under your temper. Instead, things fall apart. She runs away. Nothing happens. I mean, look, she missed CMAR again, so they don't want to see her. So she's got this place on the island. Problem is if I go with her, I gotta basically put my foot down, But financially, I can't support her. Two is the other problem is her family thinks that I could just pull up a miracle out of my ass every time we're struggling, and get through it. Which God's the one that's getting me through this. The problem is a miracle is gonna basically go paper thin. I mean, we've had two advocates basically that doesn't want to know me because they don't want to deal with Chloe and her temper. The advocates claim that Chloe's purely domestic violence, angry, violent, combative, you name it. And so with me, I'm just here to share that with you all before I log off and go to the bathroom soon. That basically the point I'm trying to make to you all is that one of the things I'm sharing with you today is this is an idea that I'm going to pay one-way ticket out. Problem is as of December 4th, it's 2 months on the dot for Social Security. They got 4 months to get things in order, and that means getting her therapy. And frankly, to me, I'm really hurting, and I've had advocates tell me just get rid of Chloe, yet, I've had other people say you can't get rid of Chloe because the law states the law states,
If I tell them that I agreed to leave, then they can't do anything to me.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I just got to get a doctor's permission to keep this place.
What's that?
And then I got to get a doctor's permission to keep this place. So, it's a complicated issue, but it's something that can be worked around. The problem is, like I said, I've had 2 meetings with management over Chloe's temper, and Chloe can't control it. I mean, she'll just blow up for no apparent reason. I mean, I could be gulping a cup of coffee, and it'll be like, I mean, she's like the blue minion that just drinks the potion and then blows up,
I'm washing dishes for you.
Banana. So I gotta go to the bathroom. Maybe I'll do another video later. I got letters I need to do. It's almost 3:00, so I'm gonna probably have a late dinner because I don't know what I'm having for dinner tonight. I don't know if I'm having wings.
Some lunch.
I was planning to make either soup today or chili. I might do chili.
Well, we got 3 pots here you could use for your chili. Clean.
But I wanted to share with you all, the blame is not just Chloe's, but mine. Mine is for putting so much hope and faith into Social Security paying and yet not enforcing the cleaning rule. So I finally just said enough's enough. I've had people say at the BPD group, she would have been kicked out a long time ago. The problem is my patience is now running thin because I'm feeling that there's no hope for Chloe and there's no way to treat her. And, she claims mental hospital, they'll just put her on meds. Her mom thinks that's the best course of action. Unfortunately, the outpatient people say no, and so, and BPD patients, meds only work if you overlap with bipolar. Chloe's not bipolar. Chloe's clearly borderline. She snaps at a dime. But also, people are also labeling Chloe narcissistic because, things she said in therapy groups was like all about her dwelling on the past and her and her and her and not thinking about the future. I mean, I need to basically, when Chloe leaves, it's going to be kind of a hassle, but I will go one day to get dry goods and another, or my dry goods I will get brought in on Amazon or Walmart. And then my frozen stuff, I'll just go and get my frozen stuff, off island once a month with my cooler. I mean, literally, I can make it work. The problem is, I can't live where, I'm going out of my way to go to Walmart, say the third, just for a few items, then go to the fourth to get Chloe's groceries, and then go back to fifth. The ferry tickets stack up, so the dry goods come in through Amazon Prime. Fortunately, the island's pricing is a little expensive. I did notice the turkeys are inequivalent to about 5 to 7 cents difference a pound at between Walmart and on the island. So turkey this time of year is going to be a good deal. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm kind of worried about other issues. I do like ham too. One of my advocates just emailed me a link to where to go to get a turkey. So I'm going to try to call them, get them to call me back. So with that said, everyone, I hope everything goes good. I will do another video. Like I said, I'm not basically blaming Chloe. I'm blaming myself semi for not enforcing the get well or else card or get this place cleaned. I mean, I'm old fashioned. Like I said, I like writing letters. I like, what I do is old fashioned, and to me, I'm kind of tired of putting up with, a dirty household and etc, and saying to myself, and talking to people, why is it me that I'm paying, for example? This is my complaint, and nothing's being done, and then I watch like Girls Interrupted with Susanna Kaysen and others, and reading her book, and I realize, even if I went and helped clean, which I've done many times, it just goes back to the dirty style of things. And to me, I'm fed up with living in a cockroach-infested apartment, jokingly aside. It's not cockroaches, but I've had old neighbors that call me and email me and say, look, when you were without Chloe, you were happier. Your house was always clean. You always catered and was polite and nice. When Chloe came in the picture, your world just went upside down, inside out, backwards. As P.I. Parker would say in Lonesome Dove, everything's right side out. So that's it, everyone. Please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions. Hit that like, subscribe button. It's wholesome fun even for the family, including your dogs and your cats and your bunnies and your grandmas. Thanks for watching. Captain's Log Out, NCC 77246, USS Excelsior. This transmission ends now.